Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. We're going to try something new here based off of some of the feedback that I got from my team and others. Basically, since I am doing rehab because my right is injured, I was worried that the content might be stagnant for you guys. So my team had suggested that while I'm showing you what I'm doing for my rehab, I could be doing basically a voiceover telling you about different things that maybe I have opinions on or whatever. Excuse me. So today, I'm going to do my predictions on King of the Table 7. First, let me just tell you what you're about to see in the video. You can see me warming up here with the bands. I do side pressure and supination with the green band here with a side pressure vector. That's how I start off. And then I move to the blue band and do basically pronation curls over the thumb and rise over the knuckles. And then if I remember correctly, I go to the red band and do cupping. And then I do some, now that I do 4 times a day. So that equals 100 reps for everything you're about to see there. Oh, that's right. Today I was using a wrist wrench with a doubled up red band. So yeah, you'll see that. Anyway, and then I move to the table and I do the other table and I do some pronation through the hand as well as pronation through the wrist. You'll see me do my singles on my left arm. Right now I'm doing 80 pounds pronation and 60 pounds rise. And that's probably about, I would say 85% on my pronation and about 95% on my rise. It's a little bit too high on my rise, but I said, screw it. I'm lifting it. And I'm just going to stick to it. My right now is not doing any of the singles. It's just doing the band work and the volume and rehab work, whereas the left is doing the singles. All right, enough of that. So what are we going to talk about today? King of the Table 7. We have 3 matches. Engin Terzi versus Coach Ray, Artem Morozov versus Corey West, and Devin Larratt versus Dave Chafee. So my predictions. Engin Terzi versus Coach Ray. I really do believe that Engin Terzi, even, him kind of on his comeback tour, he isn't at full strength yet. I do believe his pronation is going to be too much for Coach Ray. The only real threat that I see from Coach Ray, and don't get me wrong, it's not like Coach Ray is a bad arm wrestler in any way, shape, or form. He's actually one of my favorites as far as his heart and his spirit. But I believe that the endurance could come into play over a 6-round match. Perhaps Coach Ray is able to slow it down, get restarts like he did against the top roller. I can't remember who he faced in King of the Table 1, and then take over in the later rounds like he did in King of the Table 1. Who knows? But I do believe Engin Terzi's pronator and experience are going to shine, and he's going to have the victory that day. I would say the worst case scenario would be 4-2. Obviously, best case scenario would be 6-0. I do believe it's going to be either 6-0 or 5-1 for Engin Terzi. Now, Artem Morozov versus Corey West. This is a left-handed match. And potentially, I believe, the #1 in the world left-handed right now. And, a lot of people are sleeping on Corey West. They believe he doesn't have anything for Artem. I believe Artem is definitely the favorite. There's no doubt about that. But I do believe that Corey's going to win this. And I think it's going to be 4-2, or it could even go to a silver bullet. It could be 3-3 and we go to a silver bullet, but it's going to be that close. Yeah, so I don't know. But that's what I'm looking at. It could be that. Could be that close. So my prediction is either 4-2 or 3-3 silver bullet. That's my prediction. Yeah, I really do believe that Corey West is something to behold. Devin Larratt versus Dave Chafee. So, for those of you who know me, you know that I'm a huge Devin Larratt fan. I believe that he is going to win this. I'll just cut to the chase right there. I do believe he's going to win this. I believe that Dave Chafee is still stronger, but I don't believe anywhere near the gap that was in 2018 or 2019. Dave was a lot stronger than Devin back then, and I don't believe that he is a lot stronger than Devin now. I believe he is stronger, but I don't believe that he's a lot stronger. So that plays in Devin's favor because Devin was able to beat him then. And, yes, it was an ugly match, but Devin was able to beat him then, and he was a lot weaker. Now, I believe the strength gap is a lot closer than it was before. And Devin is even trickier than he, ever has been. Plus, now he's stronger. It doesn't look good for Dave. Now we have also a 6-round, format instead of the 5-round format. So endurance plays a key. All of these things play into Devin's favor. I believe that Devin will win either 5-1 or 6-0. I really do believe it's going to be that dominant, although I believe that they're going to be grinders. Like round 1 is going to be most likely a king's move. And then if we see Devin do what he wants to do, he's going to somehow bring his shoulder around and turn it into a hook. And if he can hook Dave round 1, it's all over. It's done. There's really no way around that. So, at least in my opinion. Yeah, so that's my opinion. I'd be interested to see or to hear what your opinions are on King of the Table 7. As you can see here, I'm finishing up with some band work, just doing some curls. And if you notice, I do straight on. I do where I'm basically pulling to the opposite shoulder, and then I'm opening up my shoulder as well. I've learned through doing research that when you rotate out like that, you're kind of exposing the short head of your bicep more. And when you rotate in, which you'll see me do in a second, you're exposing the long head of your bicep because it's bicep. There's 2 heads of the bicep. One's the long head, one's the short head. Long head is obviously stronger than the short head. But the by trying to just basically change up the pressures like that, it allows me to target both of the heads of the bicep as well as doing them straight on, which basically does both. And then here, like I said, I'm doing pronation through the hand. It's just a regular handle with both of the straps going up, and then I have a fat grip over it. Just a 1-inch fat grip, nothing big. And this is lightweight. This is all 25 pounds. But you can see, like, this is a side pressure vector, and I'm still working the hand. So I'm getting elbow flexor work. I'm getting wrist work. I'm getting hand work. And all of this while I'm rehabbing. So, it's just, for me, this is all blood flow. This is rehab. This is tendon stuff. But it is still building up, a slight amount of strength. Going back to what I've said since the beginning, it's all money in the bank, right? It's all deposits in the bank that you can draw from later. So my left is getting the heavy training with the singles, but it's also getting all of the blood flow, all of the therapy, everything that I'm doing on the right as well. Right now, the right is just getting therapy and blood flow and stuff like that. I can already tell you that the right is feeling better. It doesn't feel anywhere near as bad as it did even on this day, because I am recording this voiceover a day after. It's not feeling anywhere near as bad as it was even yesterday. But I'm still giving it at least a week or two before I test it. And when I do test it, I'll test it with like a single, but it'll be more like 50 or 60 pounds just to see where I'm at. And then we'll go from there. So right here, I'm just finishing up with some wrist-based pronation. All I'm doing right here is protecting my pronation through my wrist. It's great for like a low hand top roll or defending against a hook or something like that. Or, if you're finishing a top roll and you're getting turned up because somebody is cupping you, which, physics, that's what's going to happen. Your pronation is going to be weakest when you're down there at the pin pad. So if you can strengthen that vector and that particular area, then it gets a lot better. I also do this exercise standing up, basically just back pressure pronation with the same thing, the wrist-based pronation. But anyway, there you have it. So I do these exercises 4 times a day. I do the singles basically whenever I feel like it. I'm averaging somewhere between 6 and 8 a day of doing the singles. And then, if it's bench press day or shoulder press day or something like that, I'll also add that in. But I'm staying away from like heavy pulling stuff and staying away from, heavy arm wrestling specific stuff on my right hand. I hope you enjoyed this kind of format. For me, this is a little bit uncommon, but I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.